you really did well, girl. You will do well in life. And up to now, I still hang on to those words na she said, you will do well in life. Takot ka ba na mag-abroad or manirahan sa ibang bansa dahil feeling mo ay hindi mo alam kung ano ang mangyayari sa'yo doon? That fear ay very common kapag tayo ay nag-jump into something new sa ating life. So, for example, we're making a really big decision sa buhay natin. Pagka meron tayong mga bagong desisyon na ginagawa sa buhay natin, talagang we will feel a huge fear sa puso natin kasi fear is, the anticipation of something that is not there yet. Kaya meron tayong fear kasi hindi natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa buhay natin doon. Kung maganda kaya ang mangyayari sa akin doon, kung mahihirapan kaya ako, so and so. And I have done that before, you guys. And in today's video, ay isi-share ko sa inyo kung ano yung mga kaalaman ko, kung ano yung na-experience ko, reflections ko sa buhay, pertaining to fear, kung paano ko siya na-overcome. So we have what we call fear of the unknown or fear of the new beginnings, no? Because according to Roosevelt, is what we have to fear is fear itself. So, matakot tayo sa kinakatakutan natin. Yun yung parang ibig sabihin doon. Dahil, saan ba tayo natatakot? Doon sa mga bagay na hindi natin alam. Kaya tayo ay may fear na nag-grow sa loob natin dahil merong something na about to happen or meron tayong decision na ginawa na we don't know kung ano ang patutunguhan natin. That's why fear arises. So, coming to Canada, ano bang klaseng fear ang mga na-feel ninyo nung kayo ay pumunta ng Canada? And if ever hindi pa pumunta ng Canada, like other countries, like for example is like na-approve kayo na magtrabaho sa Japan or sa Dubai, ano ba yung na-feel ninyo, no? Before kayo lumipad papunta doon. Of course, number one, yung culture kasi culture, iba-iba talaga. Especially Philippines and Canada. Number one is yung food. Alam nyo ba guys, nung pagdating ko dito, halos wala akong makain kung hindi ako kakain ng rice at saka ibang mga pagkain na Pilipino. Yung mga burger. Nung pumunta ako ng Canada, hindi ako kumakain ng burger. Sa Pinas, hindi ako kumakain ng burger. Bakit? Dahil yung amoy, kasi nung college ako, yung Angel's Burger na sa tapat ng gate ng college na na doon ako nagsa-study. So every time, every day, napadaan ako doon and every time na lalabas ka, yung amoy ng Angel's Burger talagang it's so much and talagang it cost me na parang naumay ako kahit hindi ako kumakain ng burgers. Yung mga classmate ko kumakain doon pero ako ayoko kasi parang naumay ako agad na hindi pa ako kumakain ng burger. So when I came to Canada, I don't eat burger. Yung mga pagkain, even pizza, talagang ayoko. Ang dami kong hindi kinakain. Even that time yung onion, hindi ko pa kinakain yan. Parang isa childhood kind of thing na nadala ko pa to adulthood na pagpunta ko ng Canada, parang namimili ako sa pagkain kasi yung amoy, parang it's too much. And aside from that, like few months, like 3 months na after naglan ako ng Canada, is I got pregnant. So, kapag first trimester ng pregnancy mo, ay nako, yung amoy ng pagkain. And to add to that, nakatira kami sa basement. And sa basement, guys, yung basement na yun, there's no exhaust. So, every time magluluto kayo, talagang yung amoy, it will be contained inside and kakapit sa damit, sa mga kurtina, ganyan. The amoy was too much for me and buntis ako. So, parang nagiging times 100 yung intensity ng amoy. So, every time I open the door after work, pagka, coming home na ako, like, papasok na ako sa bahay, sa basement, talagang yung amoy, hindi ko siya makontain. To the point na, of course, nagsusuka kasi nga buntis, diba? And hindi mo makaya yung amoy. So, that's one of the things na kinakatakutan natin kapag nag-abroad tayo, yung fear of the unknown. Makakain kaya ako dun? Especially pagka nag-abroad tayo na may amo tayo, diba? Iniisip natin na kakainin ko kaya yung pagkain nila or share kaya sila ng pagkain sa akin. Yung ganun na instances, no? So, paano natin ma-overcome tong mga ganitong klase ng fear kapag bago tayo sa isang bansa? So, number one na isasuggest ko is like, talk to people. Nowadays, like in Canada, I can talk about Canada kasi nandito ako and I've lived here for 12 years. So, meron akong mga experience. And today, dito sa Canada, meron ng newcomer services. Parang, for me, like, in my opinion, everywhere na yata may newcomer services. Kasi dito sa town namin, maliit lang siya, small city. Pero merong newcomer services and you can go there pagka bagong-bago ka, hindi mo alam kung gagawin mo, like, hala, saan kaya ako, like, paano kaya ako mag-open ng bank account? Saan kaya ako maghahanap ng trabaho? Ganun, paano kaya yung resume ko, yung social insurance number ko, paano kaya ako, ang daming tanong, fear of the unknown talaga. So, ang unang-unang mong gagawin is mag-explore ka sa community kung may services ba for newcomers, especially Filipinos, ganun, mga Filipino community, ganyan. So, pagka pupunta ka doon, dito ha, sa Canada, pupunta ka doon, kasi bagong-bago ka, doon ka nila, parang i-orient kung anong gagawin mo. Like, first and foremost, kailangan mo ng social insurance number. So, pupunta ka doon, kukuha ka ng social insurance number sa Service Canada. And then, of course, kailangan mo ng trabaho, di ba? So, talagang hindi mo alam kung saan, like, saan yung mga may job posting. So, doon mo rin malalaman or kung may kakilala ka na sasabihin sa'yo na dito ka pumunta sa website na to kasi may mga job postings, ganito, ganyan. So, mag-explore ka lang. Yan ang unang-unang mong gawin. For me, I am a shy type of person, lalo na kapag bago ako sa isang lugar, hindi ako masyado nakikipag-usap kasi unang-una, hindi natin alam kung itong mga tao na to gusto makipag-usap sa atin, no? So, kapag na-sense mo na yung vibe na, ay, gusto rin pala nila na makipag-usap sa akin. So, ayun, you will have conversations with them and maybe they can help you na ganito yung gawin mo, like ito yung mga job postings eh. Tapos yung mga verbal referrals na ay alam ko yung ganito na company is they're hiring, so baka pasok yung qualifications mo, mag-apply ka dun. So ganito yung mga dapat mong gawin when you are new to a community, to a place, or especially to a country para ma-overcome mo yung fear of like the culture and what you're going to do. Now, fear of loneliness and isolation is pretty common talaga kapag bago tayo sa isang lugar, no? So, when I first came to Canada, wala akong kaibigan. And wala pa rin akong kaibigan hanggang ngayon. 12 years na ako dito, wala akong close na kaibigan. Nung isang araw, pumunta kami sa isang Vietnamese restaurant. Ako, ng asawa ko, at saka yung anak ko. And then, pagdating namin doon, may isang kumpul na mga Pilipino, like 3 of them, and then afterwards may dumating na isa, so 4 na sila. And I asked my husband kasi siya yung may mga kakilala dito, guys. Ako, like, wala akong hindi ko kilala yung mga tao dito. So I asked him if they're classmates sa college, community college, that's why lumalabas sila, ganyan. And my husband said no. So I was like, oh yeah, they're just friends. So for me, I haven't done that here in Canada na may friend ako and then like they will call me and say, punta tayo sa ganito, kain tayo, magchika, ganyan. No, I've never done that here in Canada. Why? Because first and foremost is hindi ko feel. And pangalawa is I have this experience before. I was working as a care aide in a big like facility. Bago siya and it's quite big kaya ang daming Filipino na nagwo-work. And of course, kapag maraming Filipino na nagwo-work doon is minsan like may mga times na nagagathering, ganyan, like invite sa birthdays and so. And one time, this one older kasama ko sa trabaho, sabi niya kasi may isang gathering and then wala kami, hindi kami nagpunta kasi nga hindi kami masyadong pala punta sa mga ganun. So she said na pinag-usapan daw nila kami, ganyan. Sabi ko, ay, thank you for letting me know. Now I know. Of course, meron na at the back of our mind na ganun talaga yung mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Kung sino yung wala, yun yung pag-uusapan. So, like for me, it's like, yeah, that's kind of the confirmation that I'm looking for. Yun yung confirmation na parang, oh yeah, thank you for letting me know. So, from now on, bubukod na ako sa inyo. So, parang ganun. So, from that time on, parang me and my husband, we both learned na, kasi nung time na yon, we were about 2012 kami dumating and then that's like mga 4 years na kami dito sa Canada and talagang na-realize na namin na, yeah, it doesn't change pagka Pilipino yung mga ganyan, nangyayari talaga yan. And then, up to now, yung mga sa surroundings namin, mga Pilipino ang kakilala namin, alam ko na si ganito is my best friend na ganyan. And then one day, you just saw na magkaaway na sila and then since magkaaway na sila and before they were best friends, they were sharing a lot of personal information and now na magkaaway na sila, I cannot imagine what this other person is talking to, like, divulging to other people. Yung sikreto nila is wala na, is out in the public already. So that's what I'm kind of avoiding sa mga ganong sitwasyon. So that's one of the fears, no, like, when you come to a different place, like Canada, meron tayong fear of loneliness, being alone. So, paano nyo ma-overcome yung loneliness kapag bago kayo dito sa Canada is, aside from know your coworker and get to like talk to them or befriend them, but as I said, as I mentioned, is be cautious, no? Be cautious. Do not share too much personal information dahil one day these people may use it against you and it's not good. So I would say, yeah, you have to befriend. Do not be scared to befriend people kasi meron ka ring fear na baka ganito ganyan. Give them a chance, I guess, na to prove na they're not that kind of people, I guess. So apart from that is kung ano yung hilig mo. So for example, if you are a guy and then mahilig ka sa basketball, may mga basketball communities dahil ang mga Pilipino is basketball talaga yan, like enthusiast. They like to play basketball. So there's always a kind of basketball groups, Filipino basketball groups in a community. Even dito sa amin, meron silang group chat, doon sila nag-communicate kung kailan sila maglalaro, where, and then if may mga liga-liga din. So kung mahilig ka sa basketball doon, sali-sali ka. And like if you're like really new and you're kind of into like doing activities to get to know the community, gusto mo rin makipag-mingle sa mga Canadians, mga puti, punta ka sa library. Yes, punta ka sa library. May mga activities sila doon na pwede ka mag-join, and then of course makakakilala ka ng mga puti. And word of mouth is really good when it comes to job reference. So baka may kakilala ka na business owner and then sabi, oh, we're hiring, so like come apply for a job, like ganun. So ganun yung mga gagawin mo para ma-overcome mo yung loneliness. And another thing that's not traditional that I would suggest is what I'm doing right now. I am talking to you guys. Not really talking to you, but I'm talking to this camera in front of me. And parang minsan, pag hindi ka pa sanay, you will really think to yourself na parang sira, parang baliw na nakipag-usap, tumatawa na mag-isa. But you will overcome that kind of feeling na weird. Dahil nakipag-usap ka sa camera. But nowadays, it's so common na gumagawa ng content, lalo na mga Pilipino dito sa Canada, ang daming nagva-vlog. So you can try that dahil kapag off ka sa work, wala kang gagawin, and then you're not calling your relatives back home, yeah, you can vlog, you can talk about your day, and you don't think na you're after the money or like the earnings pagka start mo. Just keep uploading, just share your life, ganun. You don't have to have this kanang aim na kailangan kikita ka na, monetize ka na in like this short period of time. Don't think about that. That's just one of the ideas that I will share with you na that's how I overcome like feeling alone when being alone in Canada. Like, I would say alone kasi yung asawa ko nagtatrabaho and I am staying at home because I'm kind of self-employed, but these days I'm not really busy because my handmade business is not that hindi na siya masyadong malakas. And the other one that I'm doing is I'm filing taxes and it's not the tax season, so talagang wala akong masyadong gagawin. So, this is one of the ways that I overcome loneliness by sharing my life here on the internet. And you can do that as well. So, nung dumating ako dito sa Canada, and bagong-bago ako, talagang yung English, that's one of my fear. Yung, kahit na nandun pa ako sa Pilipinas and I was already expecting na darating ako ng Canada, syempre makakapunta ako kasi yung PR namin is on the way na. So I was like, paano kaya ako makipag-communicate sa mga puti? I can say na yung conversational level ko when I was still in the Philippines is poor talaga siya. Yung English level ko was poor. When it's about writing, I'm better kesa sa yung ganito na conversation, yung nagsasalita. Ewan ko, I think Asians or like mga Filipinos is ganun tayo. Most usually sa mga nakakausap ko is sabi nila, mas magaling silang magsulat ng English kaysa sa magsalita. So yeah, if you're like that, you're not alone. Ganyan din ako. Ganyan na ganyan ako. And when I came here and I had my first job, guys, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing kasi I had this like certain situation na yung nag-train sa akin is she's like terror kind of, yung alam nyo na yung paparetire na siya, tapos there, yung mga paparetire na, yun yung mga grumpy na parang they don't care about life, they don't care about you, like who are you? Parang ganun na, parang ganun na, ano, dating. So, she trained me, and she was like talking, she's Canadian. And I could not get that. I could not get what she's saying. Talagang, ang bilis, and my slang, and I was so new. Talagang, everything was new to me. The environment, the people, the language. And one time, she said, like, not exactly what she's saying, no, but she said na, kunin mo yung parang sweater or sa cardigan, gano'n na nakahang dun sa wall kasi susuotin ng resident. And I did not quite get that, and I was like doing something else. I was like, no. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. Thankfully, I was able to overcome that, no, and like later on, medyo naintindihan ko na sila. And it get to the point, no, even like in the morning, may mga huddle, like, you know, reports, and yung mga Pilipino na matagal na dito, as in matagal na, they were having these conversations sa mga coworkers, mga puti, mga nurse, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was really wondering na, how can they, like, you know, get up to this level of, like, kind of, like, talking to people in English na ganito, yung parang, they're kind of the Canadian level na. So, I was really wondering, like, when can I get to that point? And it eventually happened. And it took years. However, here is one thing that I will say to you. I was just having a fear na I would not understand English and I couldn't talk in English properly. That's why parang that kind of feeling made myself yung tarang I was holding to that kind of fear. That's why even though alam ko or I can do it, I wasn't doing it and hindi siya lalabas dahil I have this fear buried inside of me about that language barrier. Because I can tell you na I felt fear yung reason that's why nangyari yun is when I delivered my son in the hospital. So of course, like, you're gonna talk to the nurses and stuff, and one of the nurses said, are you really new to Canada? Like, your English is so good. And I'm like, really? So most of the time, talagang ina-underestimate lang natin yung sarili natin, no? Even though we can do something for us, especially if someone have told you before, dinown na yung self-confidence mo, yung self-esteem mo, talagang it will make you suppress yourself, suppress your talents, skills, and ideas, or kung ano man ang magagawa mo sa buhay na isusuppress mo siya because of this fear from events in your life or someone like belittling you, like belittle you in a way na yun, parang minamaliit mo na yung sarili mo kahit na kaya mo, hindi mo na siya kayang gawin because you think you can't, but actually you can. However, kung gusto mo talagang matuto, no, kung paano to get to that level that you can have this nice conversation with like someone maputi, Canadians, like that. Kung gusto mo talaga ma-improve yung English mo, no, conversational level, I would say the best thing you can do is to watch lots of YouTube na English ang sinasalita nila. Mga English as their first language. Yung mga content creator na English talaga yung I cannot say it. Yung kinamulat nila. Yung English is their first language. So yung mga content creators na ganun, watch those kinds of videos. Especially yung mga inspirational kind of videos. Like there's like learning and stuff. That's what really helped me na ma-improve yung English ko. And aside from that, of course, movies. No? Kasi for me, we retain a lot of learnings kapag we see and hear it kaysa sa babasahin mo. If you're that kind of person na gusto mong magbasa, yung mahilig ka magbasa, then you can read a lot of English books para makatulong sa'yo to improve your English level, conversational or, written, ganun. And one thing you can do as well is like explore in your community kung meron silang parang training or short course, ganon. Sometimes they do have it. I know nung bago ako dito parang meron dito sa community namin pero wala na ngayon, and some colleges has it kasi minsan yung mga hindi nila maipasa yung IELTS like score na ganito, ganyan kasi for example Filipinos. So meron silang like short course like 3 months course na to improve your English language spoken, written, like ganun. So you can also like take one of those courses if you would like, no? However, if in like for me, I just want it DIY. I always want DIY. I'm a DIY person. So what I'm doing is I really watch a lot of English videos in YouTube. Like I can consume this like 1 hour, 2 hour videos on YouTube, and I will watch it from start to end. Dahil hindi ako naboboard. Especially ganito yung gagawin nyo. Maghanap kayo ng video na interesado kayo. Huwag kayo maghanap ng random videos na kesyo English lang, ganyan. Maghanap kayo ng videos na yung gusto nyo yung pinag-uusapan. So, for example, yun, educational, inspirational, like, self-motivational, mga ganun na video to help you with that kind of progress that you want sa English nyo. The next thing that I was scared about nung papunta ako ng Canada is makakuha kaya ako ng trabaho doon. I know na with my nursing degree, I was a board passer in the Philippines, but of course, pagdating mo sa Canada, hindi siya nire-recognize na qualified ka na maging nurse agad, no? Hindi. So, what happened is, although I have this fear na makakuha kaya, tatanggapin kaya ako, ganyan. Meron namang mga nag-assure sa akin na, pagka nurse, graduate ka sa Philippines, makakapasok ka dito na ganito na care aid. And it's nice kasi yung sweldo is medyo mataas talaga siya compared sa mga like kung magtatrabaho ka sa mga fast food, restaurants, ganyan. So, I took it and luckily I got it. However, most of us, pagka talagang pupunta tayo sa isang bagong bansa, bagong lugar, maghanap ng trabaho, we have this fear na magmamatch kayong qualifications and skills ko. So, most of the times, like, I have this experience too, no, na when we were in Saskatoon, I applied for a lot of jobs and merong isa doon na dental aid, and I applied to that. And nung pag-interview, I got to realize na the owner was scary. Scary. She's scary in a sense na parang terror siya. Parang she is like perfectionist, and like she's not like scared to like, you know, yung hindi naman sa yell, but yung pagsasabihan ka in front of everyone, parang ganun. Like she's hindi naman siya sa mean, pero talagang nakakatakot siya na kind of employers. So, she owns the dental clinic and she's also the dentist there. And there's one other dentist na he doesn't care about the world. So, that was good. But she likes to hire mga other races like Filipinos, may mga Indians ako na kasama doon, and merong from yung neighboring ng Bangladesh, and merong Chinese, ganun. So, she likes variety of people sa kanyang office, sa kanyang dental clinic. So, ayun, I applied and she accepted me, and yun, nagsimula na yung buhay ko na everyday meron kang amo na terror. So, of course, you make mistakes, and it really got to the point na one time, she wasn't clear on her instructions, because for me, my job was to, like, yung clean the instruments, clean the tables, disinfect, ganon. Yung magamit ng mga autoclave machines, ganon. Like, for me, when she did my interview, ang impression ko talaga is ganon yung scope of work ko. Yung, I will be assisting the dental assistant, or, yeah, I think that's what it's called. Dental assistant na mag-arrange, mag-set up, every type of, like, procedures, iba-iba yung setup, iba-iba yung instruments. And guys, when you study nursing, these instruments, wala yan sa wala yung mga instruments na ini-study namin, like yung mga pangalan ng mga instruments sa operating table, sa as a nurse, pag mag-oopera, iba yan sa mga instruments ng dentistry or like dental clinic. So everything was different. I had to learn everything. So after like 2 months, talagang I got the hang of it, and mabilis na ako, so I got really good at it. I got really good at my job, and na-memorize ko yung mga na-memorize ko yung mga instruments, ganon. And yeah, I was like, talagang malalearn mo talaga, no, kapag ka magpo-focus ka lang talaga na talagang gusto mong mag-aim ka talaga na I will learn this thing kasi I have to. Wala ka naman talagang ibang choice because you work there, and she's terror, and you don't want to make a mistake. So, but it happened na she wanted me to clean the whole like dental clinic, and she left for vacation, but when she came back, she doesn't like what it looked like na ewan ko anong gusto niya. So, to make the story short, parang sinabihan niya ako like in front of everyone, like parang ganun, parang parinig or basta parang ganun. So I didn't like it, and I was like, I realized na this is really a toxic environment. Even though I like the job, I don't like this kind of work nature kasi mentally it drains me and it's not good for my mental health. And I go home with my son and I'm anxious to go to work the next day because especially after that happened, parang ayoko na. Ayoko na. So, that's one of the fears that we can have nung kung pupunta tayo ng bagong bansa, like Canada, Philippines, na baka pagdating doon ay hindi ako makahanap ng trabaho kasi wala akong skill na ganyan na in demand. Kapag natanggap kayo, just do your best to learn that skill na required dun sa specific job description na yun. And I find also that this helps us na, mag-improve, mag-grow tayo sa ating sarili kasi may ma-learn tayo na bagong skill. Kasi for example, if you're already a chef somewhere, like ang galing mo magluto, ganyan, tapos pagdating mo dito ay magtatrabaho ka sa like Tim Hortons na prepare lang ng basic sandwich, like coffee, ganyan. So, it's like a downgrade. So, kung makuha tayo ng trabaho na medyo challenging, it's really good for us, for our growth. However, if you have this fear, and apart from the fear that you have na ganito ganyan about sa skills nyo, what I would suggest is try to learn something, like take a course. So if you're working full time and you cannot just study kasi you cannot go to like a physical school, right? Yung talagang pupunta ka sa school every day. Try to learn skills yung may online lang sila, virtual learning. So like for me right now, I'm in 2023 last year, I took a tax academy course, something from H&R Block. So if you don't know, H&R Block is a firm or a company here in Canada that does taxes. So they have firms or offices everywhere, like pretty much everywhere in Canada, even in the US, I think. So they had this course. I paid 300 something for that course and I took it. It took 3 months, but it was all online. So yeah, I don't like going to school every day. So I want online, talang online ang gusto ko. So I took that one, and this year I took a bookkeeping course from Saskatchewan Polytechnic University, if I'm not mistaken. Sask Polytech. So yun, improve yourself by doing this, skill improvement. Especially yung mga nagagawa online, because it's one way of upgrading as well. Kasi pagkatapos, for example, bookkeeping, you can take it online. And did you know that bookkeepers, kapag ka self-employed ka, you have your own clients, you're probably going to start at $50 per hour, $60 per hour. That's what you're going to charge to your clients. Now, if you will be employed in an accounting firm, your starting salary will be not below $25 per hour. So, it's really a lucrative path, no? And if you'd like to, gusto mo talagang maging accountant or CPA, yes, you can also take courses na online. This is a whole different topic. Ang daming, para maging CPA dito sa Canada. But, that's what I'm suggesting, na take courses, short courses, trainings, na this kind of skill will make your employers like, wow, she has this and she has that, like, yeah, let's take her in for an interview kasi they like what they're seeing in your resume. So yun, I would suggest na take courses para ma-improve mo yung mga skills mo, and then ma-add dun sa overall, resume mo, and you can have certain experience dito sa skill na to, and it will pay so much. Dahil alam naman natin na like dito sa Canada, we trade our time for money. So, if we go to work, we're just literally trading our time with money. So, bakit nga ba iti-trade yung time natin for the minimum wage if we can do it better? If we can trade our time for $25, $30 per hour, why would we settle for $13, $14 per hour, diba? So, that's my suggestion on coping that kind of fear na yung skills mo ay hindi magmamatch sa mga job postings dito sa Canada. Keep improving yourself. If you cannot take these courses na from colleges, watch lots of YouTube videos everywhere in the internet right now. People are sharing their knowledge. So, there's really no excuse na I cannot learn this, I cannot learn that kasi ganito ganyan. We really want it, we can do it. Ang isa pang kinakatakutan ng marami is financial instability dito sa Canada, and for me, this is huge. So for me, this is a big deal, no? Kasi we have experienced this kind of struggle dito sa Canada. One thing that I can tell you na dapat mong gawin dito sa Canada, and you have to strictly follow this, is live below your means. So whatever you're earning, your expenses should be below that. So if you want to buy something, if you want to finance something, or whatever you want to do when it comes to spending money, you have to level up your income. So ang ibig sabihin nun is wag kang gumastos ng pera na wala sa kamay mo. Live below your means. That's how you will live a prosperous life dito sa Canada. Kasi pagka bago ka sa Canada and you started your life here in Canada by taking out credit cards, car loans, credit lines, personal loans, and your monthly income is not enough to cover all of those loans, mga credit cards, how can you feed yourself? So you're feeding yourself by taking out or using your credit card. And do you think that's a good idea? No. Eventually, mababaon ka ng mababaon, and maybe hindi ka na makakaahon sa kung ano man ang sitwasyon mo na nabaon ka financially dito sa Canada. So one big advice that I will tell you guys is do not chase the expensive cars or the cars that's not for you, kasi hindi mo siya ma-afford just because you want to impress other Filipinos in Canada na mayayabang, other Filipinos na for you is like, maganda yung car ni ganun. Yun yung number one reason kaya maraming mga Pilipino na naghihirap dito financially sa Canada, kasi they are always looking for validation, outside validation, na kailangan mas mahal yung sasakyan nila, mas maganda yung sasakyan or bahay nila from their friend or from their neighbor or from someone they know. Especially nowadays, guys, mahal na ang mga bilhin dito, groceries, yung daily living expenses natin, yung pagkain, mahal na siya, let alone yung housing. So kung magastos ka na dito sa mga bagay na to, and then meron ka pang kinukuhang mga like loans, mga layaways, mga ganon, na monthly mo siyang babayaran and hindi na kasya yung sahod mo dun sa mga bayarin mo, talagang you will take out a loan or a credit card just to cover all those expenses, na living expenses na, which is supposed to be your living expenses should all be covered with room for savings na galing sa kinikita mo lang, sa income mo. So if you want a better car, better house, or whatever material thing you want to buy, you have to work harder or learn new skill na makakuha kayo ng work na mas mataas ang sweldo. Because aside from our living expenses dito sa Canada, meron bang taxes? You have to, for me this is just one big advice that I can tell you. Know your taxes. Know Canada's taxes. Know which taxes and saan siya, like kailan siya, like mga ganun. It's like, I can just tell you that we always have GST and PST in our expenses, like the things that we buy and the services that we use. So for example, in our bills, like SAS Power, ganun, power bill, there's like GST and PST. So pretty much everything, may mga services and things, products na wala siyang GST and PST, but majority of what we use and buy here in Canada, may sales tax. So GST and PST. So yun, and pag bibili ka ng bahay, you'll have property taxes. Yes, taxes is everywhere in Canada. And ito yung pinaka-importante, income tax. So every year we file our income taxes. So you have to understand how this works, guys, para hindi kayo mag-grant ng something na it's a public knowledge. For example, a lot of Filipinos nagsasabing, ay ayokong mag-overtime kasi napupunta lang yan lahat sa tax. Ibabayad ko lang yan lahat sa tax. Tama ba yun? No, it's not. Yung rate ng regular hours mo and overtime is the same. Ang ibig sabihin siguro nila, which is they don't understand how it works, is taxes in Canada, income tax is progressive. So it doesn't mean na ganito yung kinikita mo, for example like This is just an example. So, kapag ka, ang sabi doon is, kapag ka you hit 100K in a year na income is 30% na ang babayaran mo na tax. And then, you were scared, hala, parang mag-hit na ako ng 100K, ay hindi na ako papasok na yan kasi baka babayad na ako ng 30%. Hindi ganun, guys. So, for example, before sa 30% is, for example lang ha, 20%. So, less than 100K, for example, like 80 to 100K, this is just an example, hindi ito yung tamang figures, no? So, for example, 80 to 100K is 20% yung tax. So, kapag umabot kayo ng 100, for example, 105,000 nung year na yun, ang kinita ninyo. Ang ibig sabihin nun is, 20% lang yung up to 100K nyo, 20% lang yung income tax. And then, yung 5,000 na sobra sa 100K is yun yung kukunan ng 30%. So, that's how it works. Hindi yung overall 105, 30% yung kukunin na income tax. So, you have to understand that. And aside from that, when it comes to finance dito sa Canada, yung mag-start ka ng mga live selling, mga magbebenta-benta ka ng mga kung ano-ano, you have to do your research. Kung ano yung dapat mong gawin, ano yung dapat mong i-prepare, like, you have to be compliant, so and so, you have to register your business. Mga ganun, kasi Canada is not Philippines. It's different here. Merong mga bylaws, mga batas na bawal kang, basta hindi ka lang basta-basta na mag-start ng something na hindi mo alam ang ginagawa mo. That's just my advice, no, when it comes to finances dito sa Canada. So, if you have this fear of, ano kayang gagawin ko para hindi ako mabang sa utang, ganyan, guys, watch a lot of personal finance videos on YouTube. Do research, watch a lot of content creators na gumagawa ng mga videos about personal finance. Because trust me, like if you are on the wrong side of like managing your finances here in Canada, it will set you up for failure. It's just my opinion ha, pero kapag marunong ka, especially from the start bago ka dito, and marunong ka mag-manage ng pera mo, you live below your means, and you have savings, and you have investments, oh my God guys, you are setting yourself up na you will live a peaceful, prosper life in Canada na hindi ka anxious. Yung isa sa mga nakakakawas ng anxiety sa mga Pilipino dito sa Canada is yung paano pag nag-lay off. Paano ko ma-afford yung dinali ko, yung truck ko. Yung 100K truck ko na nagma-monthly ng $1,000 not including insurance and like other things, gas. So paano ko siya mababayaran? Paano yung bahay ko na 2,500 per month ang mortgage, ganun. So that's one of the fears that Filipinos have here in Canada. So if you'll avoid that kind of problem, yes you can, and it's easy. It's easy to avoid that kind of problem. Just don't take loans. Just don't take expensive cars and expensive houses. You know guys, dito sa Canada, yung car is not for, you know, like status na sa Pilipinas is, ay, may car si ano, like, ang yaman nila. Dito sa Canada, car is a necessity. Parang it counts as the basic necessity, one of the basic necessity dito sa Canada dahil sa winter, dahil sa lamig. So everyone, pretty much everyone, and their mothers and their like sons and daughters have their own car. So, hindi natin kailangan mapabunggahan dito, then mabaon tayo sa utang, 'di ba? So, that is my advice for everyone na papunta pa lang doon, and if you're there, please do something to better your life when it comes to your finances. I would say that this is the last fear that everyone has kapag pupunta ng bagong bansa or manirahan or magtrabaho doon. Sorry, Bisaya kasi ako. yung dila ko is talagang gusto niya magbisaya. So, this is one of the fears, and even I have this fear when I first came here in Canada is yung racism. Kasi everywhere, meron naman talagang mga tao na racist. So, this is a controversial issue up to this day, no, na may racist ganyan. And I've observed na yung mga puti, sometimes they're careful on what they say, like verbally or like on social media, everywhere. Sometimes they're careful about what they say kasi ini-interpret na ng mga tao na you're racist or something like that. Even though may mga instances naman talaga na they have to say something. And it's not about being racist. It's just about, you know, making someone aware that, hey, you're doing like something wrong or something like that. And ang nangyayari is, we have this fear kasi, especially these days, there's internet and everybody's sharing on social media, and like you saw someone sharing their experience about experiencing racism somewhere, like for example, Filipino in Canada, and papunta ka ng Canada and you have this fear na, hala, baka ako rin. Baka ako rin ano doon. But you know guys, let me just tell you this, no? Even though I had that fear too as well, because I am a small Filipina. Ito yung fear ko noon na I will be so obvious na kasi maliit ako. Maliit, and then like, tingnan mo yung mata ko, so Asian. But, yung mga puti, they like Asians. Especially Filipinos. Yung mga Filipino, maganda yung image natin dito. Like, let me tell you, kasi we are known to be hardworking and we are known to be clean. We are known to be like fresh smelling, fresh looking. Like, we are known to be smart, hardworking people. Yung may mga maybe instances and one or two event like pangyayari na something negative na Filipino yung involved. It's just like wala yun. Kasi the overall image of us here in Canada is, for me this is what I've observed through the years, is good. Even one time I had this, I don't know if this is just being Filipino or like, for me personally yung feedback na binigay nung nurse sa akin is, one time I was working at care aid, so we cover like a lot of beds, like a lot of residents, and there should be 3 of you working on that floor. Kasi sa morning it's so busy, you have to wake them up, get them dressed, like feed them, and then like send them to activities after, like ganyan. It was mornings so busy, and the 2 of my coworkers didn't show up, so I was alone. And being maliit na Pilipina, ang magiging impression ng iba is, oh my God, can you do it? Like, parang ganun. But I did it, like, na-care ko sa lahat, napakain ko sila lahat, they were all like groomed and stuff. And one of these nurses said, you really did well, girl. You will do well in life. And up to now, I still hang on to those words na she said, you will do well in life. Kaya hindi ko siya makalimutan yung nurse na yun, kasi natatak talaga sa utak ko yung sinabi niya. And we Filipinos, ganun yung impression ng mga ibang lahi sa atin dito. Kaya when it comes to that kind of fear na like people will be racist, like look down on you because of your skin color or how you look like, no. So far, those are the kinds of fears that I can share with you guys that I have experienced here in Canada, and it's quite normal if you will be living in a foreign country for the first time. So, normal lang ang mga lahat ng yun, and I hope I was able to help you like explore what you can do to cope with that kind of fear, para you will eradicate that kind of fear totally. So guys, if you learned something, and if you like my long videos, and if you're still here right now, nanonood ka pa, and nakikinig ka pa sa akin, thank you so much with all my heart, and I hope to see you guys again sa mga next videos ko. Please comment down below on what you think, if you want to suggest something, if you want me to talk about something else or like a certain topic. And I appreciate your likes, guys, and your views. It warms my heart, and thank you so much, and I'll see you again on my next video.